Ora, muito boa tarde a todos, sejam bem-vindos a Montemor o Velho para esta tarde repleta de finais do terceiro dia do Campeonato do Mundo de Canoagem e Paracanoagem aqui em Portugal. A temperatura está excelente e as condições estão ótimas, 29 graus de temperatura do ar, 25 graus da temperatura da água. Programa para agora, nos próximos momentos, vamos ter 4 finais B, a C2 Homens 1000, a K2 Homens 1000, o K1 Mulheres 1000 e a C1 Mulheres 500 metros. Todas elas vão ter portugueses em prova. O Bruno Afonso e Marca Pura são os primeiros. Na C2, Bruno Moreira, Fábio Cameira vão a seguir no K2. Depois, Mafalda Germano estará na final B do K1 1000 metros e Ana Rodrigues na final B da C1 500 metros. Depois temos as finais A. Aí não vão ouvir os nossos comentários, pelo menos aqueles que estão em casa, porque entramos para o Live TV. As finais A da C2 1000, K2 1000, K1 1000, feminino e por aí fora. De qualquer maneira, nós depois vamos dando a atualização da informação. Interessa saber para quem está aqui que João Ribeiro vai ter prova às 16h39, final lá do K1 500 metros. João Ribeiro às 16h39 e depois a Sara Sotero e a Rita Fernandes estarão na final lá do K2 1000 metros feminino.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to day 3 at the Paracanoe and Canoe Sprint World Championships here in Montemor, Velho in Portugal. And we'll be looking forward to seeing the C2 men 1,000 metre event very, very shortly. We've got some fantastic finals to look forward to. C2 men 1,000, K2 men 1,000, K1 women 1,000 and C2 men. And also we have the shorter distance of the C2 men 200 metres, the C1 women 500 metres, K1 men 500 metres and K2 women 1,000 metres. That's all to come up this afternoon. We have finals, we have medal ceremonies, and towards the end of the afternoon we have a few more heats and semi-finals. We're going to start off with the B final in the men's C2 1,000 metres. Very light breeze blowing, been fantastic conditions so far today. About 29 degrees, air temperature, water temperature just a little cooler. Fast conditions today, and all these paddlers will be looking to execute the best possible race they can and get a good time in what is reasonable conditions here. So we've run through the lineup. As you can see, the Belarusians there in lane 8. I'll start with lane 1 though. We have Davidowski and Zustautas from Lithuania in 1, Tintz and Pranks from Latvia in 2, Koryansky and Meek from Hungary in 3, Silva and Santos from Brazil in 4, Yanduk and Rybachok from Ukraine in 5, Sprinsan and Nuta from Moldova in 6, Varga and Fitzpatrick Panda in 7, Lukashuk and Patpenka from Belarus in 8, and Alfonso and Apura from Portugal in 9.
E os portugueses Bruno Afonso e Marca Pura, eles estão na pista 9. Esta manhã terminaram a sua semifinal na 8ª posição. Apenas os 7 primeiros passavam à final B e depois o melhor tempo juntava-se a eles, e foi esse o melhor tempo que lhes valeu a presença nesta final B para o Bruno Afonso e o Marca Pura. O Bruno Afonso é atleta do Náutico de Mértola, já com algumas presenças em provas, com várias presenças em provas internacionais, nomeadamente nos escalões júniores e sub-23 e também nas taças do mundo aqui realizadas em Portugal. Este ano eles no campeonato absoluto em Belgrado, o campeonato da Europa absoluto, conseguiram uma final europeia, portanto terminaram na 9ª posição e agora a conseguirem uma final B neste campeonato do mundo absoluto. Uma curiosidade, os atletas são treinados quando estão na seleção por Jaroslav Radon, atleta olímpico da República Checa, que terminou a carreira com um 7º lugar na final olímpica em 2016. Marcapura tem apenas 20 anos, feito já este ano, é atleta do Náutico de Crestuma, atleta muito jovem, campeão nacional desta distância na prova individual. Estes são os líderes da prova, Sebastian e Nuta da Moldávia, mas está tudo em aberto. Temos 4 embarcações lado a lado e as restantes ali muito perto. Numa prova de 1000 metros, a última fase da prova é decisiva. Para já a passagem aos 500. Um 50-217 para a Letónia, que passa na frente.
Does Lithuania make their way through at the halfway split in first place? All pretty close at the moment, as you can see the overhead shot from our spider cam there. Now focusing in on the Ukrainians in lane 5 there. You can see them in the distinctive yellow vest, the blue canoe, just running nice and smoothly. As we said, conditions looking really, really good this afternoon. Lithuanians, you can see, we're just getting out to a lead. Latvians in the black boat there. Now we're getting to the business end of the race, and the canoe is beginning to show their hand there. Avis and Franks from Latvia, looking good, keeping their stroke long. Ukrainians are just keeping an eye on them, tracking them, beginning to build their pace as we get to the last 250 metres. Less than a minute to go now, and still a lot of paddlers left in this. Lithuanians are there. Latvians were leading. Just a moment to go. Still in the lead there, you can see from the overhead picture, but the Hungarians and Brazilians, Ukrainians in there as well. It's going to come down to a fight as they approach the red boys here in the last 100 metres. Still with the Latvians at the moment. Hungarians beginning to move on up, but have they given themselves enough time and enough distance to do so? Well, we'll find out. The Brazilians in the blue caps being put under pressure by the Hungarians at the moment. Ukraine still have the second place and beginning to overhaul Latvia now. Just see, can the Latvians hold on? We've got the last 4 or 5 strokes now. It'll be a lunge for the line, and it looks like the pace actually was with the Ukrainians. Maybe just getting their nose ahead of the Latvians. The Brazilians coming through the third.
A equipa portuguesa a terminar a prova na 8ª posição. Bruno Afonso e o Marcapura. E os vencedores foi a equipa da Letónia, Tints e Pranks. Os que têm, o ano passado terminaram em 8º no Europeu, já têm uma presença em campeonatos do mundo, em 2013. Andam ali muito nas finais B, mas têm capacidade para estar na final A. Ali muito perto deles, a equipa da Ucrânia, os ucranianos Vandiuk e Ribachov. Uma curiosidade, foram eles que conseguiram a cota de apuramento, aqui estão eles, para os Jogos, mas depois, na seletiva ucraniana, eles perderam para Dimitro Yanchuk e Taras Michuk, que depois conquistaram o bronze olímpico. 3:43.185, o tempo dos vencedores. Afinal, venceu a Ucrânia, aqui com este movimento técnico final. Foram eles então os vencedores. Vandiuk e Ribachov a vencerem a final B deste Mundial. Ribachov contente e Vandiuk também. E já temos o alinhamento para a próxima final da tarde, final B do K2 1000 metros masculinos. Mais uma presença portuguesa, com o Bruno Moreira e o Fábio Cameira. Estão ali agora no ecrã, sim. Esta é a equipa da Polónia. Vemos câmera ali no topo do ecrã. Da Noruega, Jon Vold e Jo Solhaug. Nathalie Pettersson da Suécia. Valentinoe e Robert Illes da Hungria. A Ucrânia, Siromia Ternikov e Bastovi. Thomas Lucy e Daniel Johnson da Grã-Bretanha. O Bruno Moreira e o Fábio Cameira na semifinal terminaram na 7ª posição com um registro de 3:17.485. Ui, e uma falsa largada. Bruno Moreira e o Fábio são ambos atletas sub-23. Este ano no Europeu em Auronzo di Cattore, em Itália, alcançaram a semifinal, onde terminaram na 4ª posição, apenas 3 passavam à final, mas foram na mesma ao Mundial em Plovdiv, na Bulgária, onde alcançaram a final B do Mundial de Sub-23, um 7º lugar nessa final B, o que equivale a um 16º lugar. Este homem que está aqui na frente, ali da equipa da Suécia, que nós vimos há pouco, é o Martin Natal. Este ano no Mundial de Sub-23 venceu o K1 1000 metros. Vencer o K1 1000 metros hoje em dia no Sub-23 é preciso ter muito nível. Martin Natal, então o atual campeão do mundo de Sub-23 é o voga desta tripulação da Suécia. Eles que estão na pista 6. Esta é a equipa da Noruega, com muita tradição nos 1000 metros. Já a Suécia com uma ligeira vantagem.
Well, this is the B final in the men's K2 1,000 meter event. As you can see from the racing, it's highly competitive at this level. The Swedes are the crew that got away to the best start there. Martin Nathaniel and Albert Pettersson. Good start. Start so important in this event. Got the power down and then up the cruising pace. So we've got the Swedes there just leading ahead of the Polish crew of Ledzinski and Rosolski. Now you can see the Swedes drop the pace. They're happy with where they are. They're just relaxing, stretching that stroke, getting into that swinging style, relaxing into their race plan. Gives the opportunity for the Poles perhaps to move up a little bit on them. You can see the Norwegians in picture there. Norway, such a great tradition in kayak paddling over the years with Knut Holmen and of course Erik Beres Larsen in the more recent future. He is here. He'll be keeping his eye on proceedings, and the Norwegians in that distinctive yellow and black boat with the Norwegian flag on the bow, just in about 3rd place at the moment. Italians over the far side of the course in lane 2, also looking good, but it's the Poles and the Swedish who are fighting out for the 1st place as they go through the halfway point in just over a minute and a half. Brits there down in lane 9, Tom Lusty and Dan Johnson pleased to get through to this final, so they'll be just looking to put in as best race as they possibly can. Tom, of course, will be going again in the K1000, where he looked particularly good in the heats. But we've got the K2 1000 meter B final right now, and just over perhaps a minute to go for these paddlers, so it's just starting to hurt now. They're starting to feel the pain. They must maintain their rhythm, keep the stroke rate going, and then we'll see what they've got left as we approach. When we get through that 250 marker, we'll see some of the crews perhaps moving up already. You can see the Swedish just picking up their stroke rate. Leg drive just increasing there, the power going down, and therefore the boat speed and the stroke rate increasing. Norwegians just stalking them there. Haven't done anything special so far in this race, maybe keeping their powder dry, just saving something for the blast to the finish will be coming up right now. But they're trying to hold on, and really it's the Swedish and the Polish crew fighting it out. Watch their bows, they're almost neck and neck, level with each other right now, and this is down to who wants this more, who can put up with the pain more, and it's the poles that have the stroke rate, they have the power, and moving up with the poles, a well-drilled crew from K4s from the Czech Republic, Spisha and Havel there over in lane 3, moving up on the Swedes, and the Swedes really need to hold on to this, need to keep that rhythm of the boat moving. No doubt now about the Poles coming over in first place, followed by Sweden, and then in this K2 1,000-meter B final, Czech Republic in third place.
Lane 4, lane 3 and lane 9, please come to the boat control. Lane 3, 4 and 9, please come to the boat control. Thank you.
Tivemos então a final B do K2 1000 metros. Os portugueses terminaram na 8ª posição, batendo a equipa da Grã-Bretanha. A vitória foi para a equipa da Polónia. Os polacos, que foram finalistas no Mundial da época passada, a falharem aqui a final, mas a conseguirem a vitória na final B. Não foi exatamente esta a tripulação, foi o Rafał Rosolski com o Bartosz Stablun na época passada, este ano a vencerem a final B. 3:17.719 para os vencedores, Suécia com mais 275 e República Checa, Spitzer e Daniel Havel a terminarem na 3ª posição. Os portugueses registaram 3:27.654, foi o seu tempo na 7ª, no 8º lugar, perdão.
To był dobry wyścig. Szkoda, że nie finał A. Ale i tak pozdrawiamy naszych kibiców.
And next on course, up at the 1,000-meter start, we have the B final of the K1 Women's 1,000-meter event. You can see the lineup there on your screen. So all ready to go now. From Poland, Edite Kirkla in lane 1, Eva Barrios from Spain in 2, Becky Cole from New Zealand in 3, Julia Lagstam from Sweden in 4, Sarah Troll from France in 5, Maria Dostanic from Serbia in 6, Dara Borsheskaya from Belarus, who has struggled a little bit on the start, as you can see there. She's in 7. Afala Germano from Portugal in 8, and Laura Guskowska from Latvia in 9.
E temos então a presença da portuguesa Mafalda Germano nesta final B do K1 1000 metros. Mafalda, atleta da Associação Naval Amorense, quando compete a nível nacional. E numa sempre difícil final de K1 1000 metros, aqui está a pista 8 para Mafalda Germano. Mafalda conseguiu final na Taça Nacional este ano. Esta é Edita Kirkla da Polónia, atleta que já esteve em vários campeonatos do mundo e com medalhas alcançadas, mas uma lesão no início da época de 2016 comprometeu a sua carreira. Agora em fase de recuperação. Esta é a Rebecca Cole da Nova Zelândia. Nova Zelândia sempre com grandes valores, especialmente na canoagem feminina. Foi 4ª classificada nesta distância no Mundial de Sub-23 já esta época e integrou o K4 com a Lisa Carrington e a Kathleen Ryan e a Kyla Emery na 2ª Taça do Mundo, onde conseguiram a medalha de ouro. Nova Zelândia, que este ano nas Taças do Mundo ganhou tudo o que tinha para ganhar em tripulações K2 e K4 nas distâncias de 200 e 500 metros. Conseguiram o ouro e foi um pleno. Está a atleta da Polónia. – 32 anos de idade para esta grande atleta.
Well, these are ideal conditions to be paddling in. I'm sure the paddlers will be enjoying this. Edita Kirkler certainly is, because she's got clear water over herself and the rest of the field. Just a nice swinging rhythm. Nice style there. She's in control, absolutely in control of everything that she's doing here and enjoying her racing. There's a bit of a battle going on for second place, with Rebecca Cole making the best of it at the moment. There she is in picture, and such a great group of women they've got in New Zealand. Bates up in Auckland, Gordon Walker overseeing their development, and really Rebecca's had a fantastic opportunity to take part in the K4 this year at the World Cup and win a race there, and it's really bringing her on. So she's improving, ever improving. She's being put under pressure by Eva Barrios and Julia Lagerstam either side of her, Spanish paddler and the Swede. And we've got Sarah Troyle from France now moving up. She's stepped out of the K4 and into the K1, and she's doing a great job trying to put herself in contention for the second place. But really, it is second place she's looking for, because Edita Kiril, well, to time that margin with the calendar, the huge gap she's got in front of herself and the rest of the field. Of 4 boats, they're all vying for that second position. Barrios, Cole, Lagerstrom and Cole. Cole perhaps having the best of it at the moment, but last 50 or 60 metres or so, no doubt about the winner. Kirkler coming over the line now, and it's a blast for the finish to try and take that second place in this women's 1,000-metre B final. Looks like Eva Barrios and Rebecca Cole. So Barrios second, Cole third, and Sarah Troll just missing out there. And the winner, Edita Kirkler from Poland.
A vitória então para a atleta da Polónia, uma vitória confortável, 4:01.910 foi o tempo da vencedora. Eva Barrios de Espanha termina na segunda posição a 6:510 do primeiro lugar, e Rebecca Cole da Nova Zelândia em terceiro com 4 minutos 8 segundos e 610. Mafalda Germano termina na nona posição com 4:28.927.
Thank you.
Kirkler from Poland there, pleased with the effort, winning that B final in the women's K1 1,000 metre event. We'll see the A final shortly at around about 5 to 4. A finals beginning just after 3:30, so in about 20 minutes time. Here at Montemor Velho, you'll join myself, Mally Johnson, alongside me, Orlando Silva. Now you can see the results, confirmation of the B final there, 4:01.9, Edita Kirkler, Eva Barrios in second, Rebecca Cole in third, and it was Sarah Troll that just missed out on the top 3 there. We will go and change distance to the 500 metres, where we'll see the B final of the C1 women event. And then shortly after that, at around 3:30, we'll begin the A finals with the C2 men 1,000 metres. And of course, the women's canoe ever developing. Over the last few years, it's got stronger and stronger, more and more competitive, and more difficult for those top paddlers to stay at the very top of the game. We will see a little bit later on one of those paddlers, Lawrence Vincent Lapointe from Canada. See, now good to see a good crowd, and hopefully that will build as we go through the afternoon to see some fantastic A finals here at Montemor, Velho, only about 130 kilometers south of Porto. Very easy place to get to. Great conditions. Give us a wave, that's fantastic. The Spanish fans there out in force once again, making lots of noise. He's getting a little bit wet, but he doesn't care. It's a warm day, about 29, 30 degrees here. Light breeze blowing across the course at the moment, but not really affecting the paddlers too much. Times are pretty quick. The racing is of the very best quality. We've got more finals to look forward to very soon. And in about 7 or 8 minutes' time, we'll have the B final of the C1 Women's 500. Welcome back to Montemor Velho here at the High Performance Centre for the 44th World Canoe Sprint and Para Canoe Championships. And we have the C1 Women 500 metres B final coming right up for you. Shortly after that, we'll be on to the A finals. So the lineup: C1 Women B final from Moldova. In lane 1, Daniela Coqui. In lane 2, Anne Armstrong from the USA. In lane 3 from Great Britain, Chloe Bracewell. In 4, Angie Aveno from Ecuador. In 5, Annika Luschke from Germany. In 6, Julia Gutova from Latvia. In 7, Dayako Shimatsu from Japan. In 8, Ana Rodriguez, the young Portuguese. And in 9, Patricia Cucco from Spain. We're underway this 500 metres. So around about the 2-minute mark for these paddlers, and making the best of her way yet. In this early part of the race, we can see Annika Luschke from Germany.
Já temos então em ação as atletas na final B da C1 500 metros. Esta é a alemã Annika Luschke. A portuguesa Ana Rodrigues, a atleta que representa as cores do IDEC de Cacia, não aparece aqui no nosso ângulo do ecrã. Já esta é a atleta da Alemanha, se vê ali na imagem, ficou de fora da final A por apenas uma posição. Foi pena.
Yeah, we can see the German there. Got off to the best start. Chloe Bracewell not far behind her. We can see the German trying to keep that stroke long, locking on at the very front, keep that boat running true. Chloe Bracewell there in about 3rd place. Well, she's actually a qualified doctor, Chloe, so she knows how to really dedicate herself and be well organised. She's certainly done that in her training. From Wakefield, the Yorkshire woman, great to see her come through our Girls for Gold talent identification programme here in Great Britain. And she will be really trying to hold on to those 2 boats on either side of her there. We've got Annika Luschke, as we said, from Germany, leading, being put under pressure here by Chloe Bracewell. She's moving on up. That's great to see. The Ecuadorian Angie Aveno, the meat in the sandwich, if you like, between these 2. But over on the far side, they need to be wary of the Moldavian. That's Daniela Coqui. And Chloe Bracewell can just sense, she can sense that the German maybe might falter over the final few strokes. So it's up to Luschke to try and keep that going and maintain the form right the way through the finish line. She's going to do that just ahead there of Chloe Bracewell from Great Britain and Daniela Coqui from Moldova in 3rd place.
Vitória então para Annika Luschke da Alemanha, 2º lugar para Chloe Bracewell da Grã-Bretanha e 3º para Daniela Cossio da Moldávia. A portuguesa Ana Rodrigues, a jovem Ana Rodrigues de apenas 17 anos, atenção, terminou no 9º lugar com 2:40.453, um pouco mais lenta do que a prova da manhã, mas
hosting the Sprint World Championships 2018. It's the High Performance Centre in Montemor, Velho. The conditions, the weather, absolutely lovely. Top athletes of the world are all here. I think about 61 nations are competing. We're here to show you and follow you and really point out the things that perhaps you can't see on the screen. What you can see on the screen is some amazing images. They've done such a good job. Also, you can see there's a bit of a crosswind coming up. I'm Matthew Leighton as ever. Fabio Wies from the Swiss team is joining me. How are you?
Thanks, I'm fine. Unfortunately, I'm not racing today, but otherwise I'm fine, yeah.
So your story is you've been around in the top level for many, many years. You've taken a bit of time off to do some studies, and that means you're not training 50 hours a week.
Not anymore, no.
Anyway, let's go to the action. Here's an amazing overhead shot. You see on the right of your picture, you see where they go up and warm up, warm down. It's a nice trail. These flags are not moving. Why they're not moving? Well, they've put up a rather smart back wall, and the back wall is 9 meters high, and the idea is to protect the lanes. Now it does, it protects up to about lane 6, so nothing's perfect, but we'll have to see how that works out in the next few minutes. The annoying thing is the conditions in the morning have been perfect. In the afternoon the breeze comes up. The competition we're going to show you are the follows. Canadian is the canoe, so it's where you have a kneeling position and you're negotiating your boat without any stealing. We're looking at the couple of medal ceremonies which we're going to go through, and it's just a case of sit back, enjoy. You're clearly watching this because you know a bit about the sport, so we're not going to be any patronising stuff, but we'll certainly, with Fabio's experience, try and give you a real rundown of what you have. This is quite novel. It shows you who's organising it. So Frank Garner from Canada, been around many, many years. He's heading the whole competition. Marcos Oliveira, you really need to look at him. He hasn't slept for about a month, and he's really put together some amazing conditions here. A few changes from the last couple of tournaments. They really upgraded quite a lot of things. So you can see the actual boat. So we're going to use stats this time. This is how long they are, this is how much they weigh, and these are the best times. There's no world record yet. It'd be nice to have one at some point. The reason for that, clearly with different winds and different water temperatures, it's going to affect things. So here we go. C2 men, 1,000 meters, A final, and there's some cracking names. There's the winners from last year, Olsen Kretschmer from Germany. Interesting there because in the heats they didn't bother to turn up, and we're going to look through the different athletes. Kaminski, again, they've been around many years on this level, as we have Karp and Milaci from Romania. They were 5th last year, by the way. Here we go. In the back, Peter Kretschmer. You probably remember him. He had more hair back in the day, but in 2012 he actually won the gold medal in here. Elon Oltz was his partner. They were desperately disappointed not to go to Rio, but I suppose there's the stand-in German. Brendel, he did rather well, winning the gold.
I think Tokyo will be their time, probably.
Cuba. Well, they're massive different age gap, but they've done really well in the last few years. Here we go, the Italians. They came 5th in 2017. Now, Shamsher and Peruvian, they weren't in the boat last year, but they're legends. They've been around for many years in the C4 and the different ones. Smart and Simap, and Bart. It was Adrian Bar. He was actually going in it last year. A different part of this year. The Spaniards, it'll be interesting to see how they come forward. They actually weren't in the final last year. And finally we have Dvorak, who was Olympian clearly, and then there's Thomas Yander. So 7 out of these crews were in the A final in Rachichi in last year. Be interesting to see how it works out. As you can see, there's a bit of a crosswind. Fabio, the conditions on the water?
Yeah, I just was paddling 1 hour ago, and it's really this crosswind. You also can see it on the picture, I think, and it protects the first 5-6 lanes, maybe, this wind protection. But I think it's nearly impossible to build up a wind protection which is effective enough to protect all the lanes. But we should start now.
Well, they're all clearly away. 9 teams have made the final. Some qualified directly, and most have had to actually go through the heats and the semi-finals clearly. So this is their 3rd race.
And the German is really fast. As I expected, they're really strong in the start, but they also can bring it down the whole course.
And the Russians, would be interesting to see how they go. Obviously such a a strength in depth. This is an Olympic event, so it has great interest. Where are we in the Olympic cycle? Well, clearly it's the middle year, and we're having a lot of team boats are testing and trying out different formations, because the actual qualifications will come in Szeged in the World Championships next year. But it is really, the way I see it, after the Olympics there's a bit of a gap year, and then it's a build-up year, because you can't mess around next year.
Absolutely. You really need to know which boat you want to send next year, because, yeah, like you said, the quotas are there for given to the athletes, and we really need to know which is the best boat, and this is the last time for making some experiments, and next year it must be the best on the start line for sure.
Well, you can definitely see the Germans, who really made quite a statement there, saying we want it. So they've had different tactics through different warm-ups, but with their vast experience, some good-looking athletes here, and I think Ulz is almost a supermodel. He's going to do quite a lot of modelling as well, anything to help you earn your living in this sport, which is, I suppose at this level, there's a bit of money in it, but at most levels, it's for pure love of the game.
Absolutely, that's for sure, yeah.
Anyway, coming down to the halfway point, 1:46, so you compare that. The conditions, I say, we're not going to have some massively fast times, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and especially in the canoe, it's much harder to deal with the wind, because you cannot steer the boat with a steer, with your feet. You really need to do everything with your paddle, and this is quite complicated. And the guy who is paddling in the back, Kretschmer here in the picture, he has to do a lot of steering work now, and this is not helping for making fast times.
Well, it looks like we could have a race on our hands. Cubans in the red boat, they're certainly wanting to keep up, and they have a great history. I think there's 12 years apart in them. They obviously want to go on for the Tokyo Olympics, and we'll try not to mention Tokyo Olympics too often, but that really, as far as I understand, is what it's all about, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. In such a sport, the Olympic Games are so important, because it's the only time in 4 years where you really can get attention, where you can get new sponsorships, and where everybody's paddling and training for it. Soon the Olympic Games are over, you're looking for the next Olympic and next Olympiad time, what you want to do in these 4 years, how you want to do it.
And let's see, well, we have an Olympic champion leading with, what, about 100 meters to go. They are controlling the race, but Cuba's saying, I want it. Slightly faster slope rate. Coming into the last 50 meters of the course, you can see with the red boys on your screen, it looks like it's going to be start to finish for the Germans. Can they hold on there? Clearly they can. So first gold medal goes to Germany, world champions. Second, Cuba, and third, Russia. Good clean race, and a very dominant race. Their tactics were just too, well, you're a tactician. They went out quickly and kept going, I guess.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what you also could see was that the lanes 7, 8, and 9 were really not in a good position. I want to keep on an eye for this afternoon. Maybe it's really because of the wind that it's not really fair, but sure, if you're down on lane 9, you're not the favorite, this is for sure, but maybe also the wind is not helping you a lot. So
how do the seedings going? I'm guessing that it's the 4, 5, and 6, which is the fastest.
Always, yeah, exactly.
Because we've had classic examples in the past where athletes have tried to calculate and it's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, I think they changed the system a little bit, so now the only thing which is sure is that when you're favorite, you're in lane 4, 5, and 6, and it really changes if number 3 in the semi-final goes to lane 1 or 9. This is changing a lot now.
You've got to be really very lucky to actually calculate where you want to go, because there's a huge difference in 1 and 9. Anyway, that's the first race. So it's a lovely day. I'd say it's about 28 degrees probably outside. It's been pretty much really hot in the last couple of weeks, but it looks like the weather's setting in. It's due to go a bit more cold, I believe, over the weekend. The wind does pretty much the same every day. About lunchtime, it starts to pick up. I believe the wind in the next couple of days is going to get stronger. Let's hope for fair conditions as possible. We're about 20 kilometers away from the coast, which is Figueres de Foz, which is a great resort. And Olds and Kretschner, 3:38, take the gold, and they are world champions. Madrigal Enrique, Cuba second, and Shamuring and Perukin for Russia take the bronze medal. 2.44 seconds gap between the first and the third there. We're going to be showing you 8 finals today. This is the first to go, and clearly it's going to be a very, very busy next couple of days. How many people are going to come and watch it? Well, I think they're hoping about 10,000 in total. It's great, healthy. The way they're actually getting the crowd here is they've been on a road show to most of the big capitals and most of the big cities around Portugal for the last 4 or 5 months. And they've been, with the great mascot, they've been showing off, and they've been putting organomes and all sorts of machines so people can really try and see how they can actually go. But look at the wind that could come into play in the next few minutes.
And talking about spectators, I was in a restaurant 2 days ago, and the waiter there told me that he really loves watching canoe sport, and it's like next sport behind football, which the Portuguese just watch because they love this sport. So it's highly popular.
Yes,
and also
ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the world champions. They won the world championship title in 2017. They've done it again this year. Boys, you did it the hard way. You had to come through the semi-finals, but you're world champions again. What does that mean for you?
Everything. I think it's a long, long time ago when the last C2 can defend his title. Yeah, I don't know, like 20 years or something.
Well, you've made a bit of history today. Congratulations, enjoy the moment. Well done. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our gold, silver and bronze medalists in the C2 1000.
So we're always trying to give you a little bit, the idea is this is to get you a little bit closer and go behind the scenes and say there's Ross Solly, the ICF media manager, is grabbing the athletes as soon as they come out of the water and asking them a couple of questions, and clearly they're playing the game. And I think that's the future, isn't it? We want to understand what's behind the scenes and how it works.
Absolutely, and I think also for the paddlers that's a good thing to be present in the media.
And most of them, and pretty much all of them, play the game. And we unfortunately only do it in English, and then they all get their words out.
Yeah, but that's also the way how you communicate under the athletes, each other.
So let's go for the K2 1,000 meters. Stars are all around here. There's lots of big names from the past, the present, and probably the future. Again, we've got 5 of the 9 finalists from last year. Kubelosh and Penna, they came 6th last year. They won a World Cup, and they're massive height difference. Normally the chap in the back can't see, but he's got a lovely view this time.
Absolutely, yeah. And they also have the world record, or world best time last year in Saga. They did the 3:05, which is just incredibly fast.
Rennie Holton Poulsen and Morten Gravesen. Rennie has medals in this, going back many, many years, and really, really a top athlete. We have the young, we've been saying the young for the last 4 or 5 years now. They're really coming to their own. It's Riley Fitzsimmons and Jordan Wood. So if you're watching in the early hours of Australia, it's hopefully going to be worth the effort. Max Hoff, Marcus Grace. Max gets so nervous. He's 35 years old now, and he says every day he's like a little boy and never gets used to it, but he's really up for it. These are the boys to beat, certainly. Tomasevic and Zoric. They look fairly lightweight, especially Zoric, but they can really make the move. They're the defending champions, by the way. Here we have Midzevic and Urania. Again, they're really top athletes, still annoyed that they missed out on the Olympics, and they've got something to prove. Geller, Botek, they came 2nd last year. Maxime Beaumont, well, yes, he goes in every category. And Guillaume Berger, they're going to be looking to watch out. Nikosias and Oljek from Lithuania, who are fast starters. Interesting to know with Maxime Beaumont and Guillaume Berger from France, they know exactly the water temperature. They crossed the line in their semi-final. They leaned back, Maxime Beaumont leaned back to put his hand back to congratulate Berger, and they fell in, which is really stupid. 21 degrees the water is, so it's okay. But Maxime Beaumont, obviously an Olympic medalist from the K1 200 meters, he's also rather good at the other events. So it's they're just chopping around, and he basically, the reason he's doing different events, he needs the motivation. Anyway, they are off, and it's a great start from the French sprinters. They've done it all the time so far this week. They've been the first to make. If it was a 200 meter race, they'd certainly be off. Here we go, sprinting power. They couldn't in the first heat where it was only the winner went through and the Germans won that. They really sort of fell apart at the end.
Yeah, I'm surprised about the fast start from Germany. I expected that the Australian would be first in the first 30 seconds, but maybe this will change a little bit.
Yeah, but Marcus Grace, he's a very interesting character. They always have a tactic, and they never tell you before. In fact, when they won the Worlds a couple of years ago, they actually did. They said, we're going to go and move at 600 as opposed to 750. And no one believed them, and they did exactly that. So they're all great tacticians. They're first through the first level. Obviously, Rennie Paulsen's pulling hard. Max Hoff came across from wild water racing. You've done a bit of that as well, so it's
yeah,
you
absolutely.
athletes can adapt a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. We raced also together, but I was maybe 16 and he was already 25 then. But yeah, I know Max Hoff for quite a while.
One of the real gentlemen of the sport, likes to train by himself. And here's the superstar, Rennie Paulsen. He's been quiet for the last couple of years.
Yeah, like the Rio Olympics was really not his Olympic Games, and also last year he was not performing at his best. And yeah, maybe this K2 can help him to come back into the medals.
Bit of confidence. Halfway stage, still very tight at the beginning. And like you see, the bottom three lanes, the Slovakia with Geller and Botek, who was second last year, they've really fallen off a pace a bit. Maxime Beaumont, it's not surprising they've come off. This is some great. This is a spider cam, so this is between about 300 to 450 mark, where they have 4 big cranes, 40 meters high, suspended, and they literally have the cables coming in between. They have one operator on the cables, one with the camera, and this is now the front images, which shows Max Hoff and Marcus Grace exactly in tune. How do you see the management of the race?
Yeah, it's interesting that they've fought back now and to the top of the field, but also you can see now the boat from Serbia is coming back into the game again. They are really late or good finishers, I want to say, and yeah,
Max
it will be very interesting next minute.
Starting to pant a little bit. I was saying they're really close action at the moment. Australians still out of the picture, but they're looking very dangerous. Making a second push though. So the Germans have upped the stroke rate with less than 100 meters to go, and they're pulling away. This is quite remarkable.
Absolutely, and also Spaniards in lane 1 come back, maybe for a medal.
Well, this is impressive. They can hold on to it. Spain really fast finishing. The angle's slightly deceptive. We've only got about 30 meters to go, but it looks like Germany's going to hold on for a famous victory unless they fall out of the boat. Well done, Germany. World champions, K2 1000. Great finish by, looks like Spain, and Serbia didn't quite have the gas at the end. That was a great performance.
Yeah, and a great race as well. A lot of changing. And I don't know about the bronze medal. Did you see? It was really close.
I think it was the Serbians.
Okay, I think as well, but I'm not sure.
Kubosh and Penna. Well, they kept it quiet, and then the last 100 meters they really came up.
Absolutely, that was a really great tactic from the Spanish crew.
Look at the start from Maxime Beaumont.
Just another league.
Bravo. But they did well, didn't they? Because it looks like they're being caught. Then it was at 750 meters. They really upped the pace a bit.
Absolutely. And also Denmark was in front at 500 meters, but they came back, and that's the first World Championship title for Max Hoff in the K2. That's also quite remarkable.
Olympic champion in the K4, and we're going to see those two in the K4 later. Max Rentschmidt, who is an Olympic champion himself, he'll be going in the 1,000 meters. And this is a great crowd. We had a load of Spanish here yesterday, making an awful lot of noise. I thought it was a stag party, but it turns out they're all athletes and friends of.
Absolutely. It sounds like a football game when the Spanish fans are cheering, and I'm pretty sure they are going crazy right now when the first medal for Spain in this World Championship.
The reason we don't know that is they're about 100 meters away, so we are 20 meters after the finish. There they are, thank you. There's the boys. The Spanish, yeah, it's great. They've all got their lovely umbrellas. You need the umbrella because the sun really is quite punishing. But they've made the day so far. Normally it's the Hungarians. Maybe they have to wait till next year.
Yeah, and Sevilla, maybe the city of Spain, is only 5 hours away from here, and a lot of kayakers come from there, and this is sure the reason why so many Spanish fans are here.
Gold medal World Champions 2018. Hoff and Grace, Kubelosh and Penner, silver, Tomicevic and Zoric in third, with just missing out by 0.25 of a second are Fitzsimmons and Woods. Their day may well come. But I think the Spanish are going to go up and maybe have a chat to their fan base. So as you say, well, you can see the conditions, but I think that's probably made Max Hoff, who's the last couple of years, he looks so decided. You were in the early stages of this race. Are you? Do you have ambitions to keep going and be motivated? I suppose you're part-timer now, so it's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I don't really know how it will go on the next couple of months with training, because I have a new job, so I will see. And I also have to analyze these World Championships, how I will continue my paddling career. What is sure is that I will paddle forever, because I love this sport, and I think as every athlete here, you're so connected with this sport, you can't just stop it.
Fabio Wies from Switzerland, who was in Rio, the Olympic Games. But here the boys, I think we're going to have a word, if they can breathe.
Ich denke auch. Danke, dass du es mit mir aushältst. Die Serben sind auch nicht unschlagbar, Max. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Germany again. It's Markus Gross and Max Hoff. Markus and Max, I know you were so disappointed to miss out on a medal last year. You've come out here this year and you've won gold. Tell me, what does this mean for you, Markus?
It's great to win gold. It's every time great to win. And after last year, it was a little bit difficult for us. But we found together again this year. European Championships was good, but not perfect. So we work hard on our race tactic, and it was absolutely good now. It was great.
Well, congratulations. That's 2 gold medals from 2 races for the Germans. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our gold, silver and bronze medalists in the men's K2 1000.
Whoa.
Well done, Germany. I remember a few years ago, they had a few problems after the Milan Worlds. There was a few rethoughts, but now they're certainly back where they want to be. Let's go for the K1 women 1,000 meters. There's always an A-B in the final. Last year we had Alicia Burnett who won, and this time we have a great mate, Ali Bull. There's some really good characters back in here. Oh, we got some proper introductions. This is very smart. So we go through, as you can see them one at a time. Lizzie Roughton, very, very good at the longer distances. She's redoubtable at the 5,000 meters. We have an Olympian with ourselves who missed the season last year. Bridget Hartley from South Africa won her race earlier today. Was delighted. Dangerous candidate here, Dora Bonoji from Hungary, who's been around many, many years now. She actually came 5th last year. Ali Bull. She said she'd like to grind out the races. We'll soon see, won't we? One of the young Germans, Nina Frankemann, 23 years old. Finland, Netta Malinen. Finland's always there or thereabouts. Ina Hashan. And last but certainly not least, she made the final last year, came 9th. Muscles there. And Koznegova. So 4 of the athletes actually are in this race from last year. The K1 1,000 meters for the women is not an Olympic event, so I think in the 7 years I've been doing this, I probably talked about 300 different athletes that have gone on the start line.
Yeah, it's a really good distance for young athletes to come into this World Championship level. So like the good nations like Australia, I see a picture of Germany, they send their young paddlers onto this distance to gain experience and also to win medals.
This is going to be really interesting, mainly European, but with an Aussie and a South African. See what sort of tactics they all go out on. This is your distance, so you can tell me what they're going through.
Yeah, lane 3, Bridget Hartley, all the South African fans can relax when she is not and on the top of the field, the first 500 meters. I saw a lot of races of her this week so far, and she starts always like really slow, but the second 500 meters she can really turn back. And I will keep an eye on her for sure for this race.
Well, Dora, we've seen her quite often dominate a race. She really shows what she's made of. But Ali Bull, she's just come up from the under-23s. It's her first senior world, I believe. Is it? First final, maybe. And so it's going to be interesting to see how she goes. I think this is the first individual final.
Yeah,
anyway,
the first individual final.
That's right.
But she's a surf ski paddler originally, and I think she's used to this distance, to paddle over 3 minutes or 4 minutes.
Well, those two are certainly putting a bit of time on the bunch. Then, by definition, if you make the Hungarian team, you're something special. The way they work in Hungary, it's obviously one of their national sports, but it's not a very, very centralised, structured organisation. There seems to be lots and lots of clubs. The top athletes are really well known. It's just a case of some of the coaches go to school, they talent pick, and they come to the club, and then it's just a case of it's very competitive atmosphere. You go to the trials, you make the team, and then good luck to you.
Yeah, and the clubs are organized really, really well and very professional. That's a very important thing in Hungary and the success for Hungary.
So let's see how they're making the way up the course at the moment. So you can hopefully spot your favourite. Bridget's falling quite a bit off the pace there at the moment. And it's very much Dora Bondonia is, and how's the one? I think she won Copenhagen a couple of years ago. Is really coming for her style efficient.
Yeah, it looks really powerful, but you also can see a lot of body rotation. Leg work is really nice. Yeah, she's using a lot of her body into this stroke. It gives a lot of power into the water, and yeah, moving forward. The thing that every paddler wants as most.
So we're going from one to another. We're going from drone pictures to spider cam pictures, so that's technically how it's done it. You can see the great see-through wall. It's 9 meters high, I say, in the background. Cost 150,000 euros, and the poles are sponsored by this local city, and the rest of it are by the manufacturers from Canada and the local organisers. But it's making quite a bit of difference, which is they really first-class organisation. They really use their resources as much as possible. There's a good 2-second lead now from Dora Bondonia. Is it going to be decisive?
I think this is too much for her concurrents to come back, but you really can see that Nina Krankenman is making a big move. She's now in second position, and at 500 meters she was maybe back in fifth.
And she looks strong, doesn't she?
Absolutely. You can see a long stroke, a lot of power in it.
Bridlet Hartley's woken up. I'll say Lizzie Broughton at the top. They don't come much tougher than Lizzie. Is really trying to share her stuff and could well take a medal. Can Dora hold on? Well, there's only 100 meters to go. Is she tying up or is she okay?
I think she will make it, but you really can see that the other girls have more power. But I think
there's a cracking race for second place. A really cracking race for second place.
Absolutely.
So it's Lizzie Broughton against. We should see the other picture against Bridlet Hartley, and Dora's going to win for Hungary. Oh, it looks like Lizzie Broughton held on for Great Britain, and Bridlet Hartley certainly had the last 200 meters, the fastest 200 meters. So 2 goals so far for Germany, and a goal for Hungary. Well, we could have almost predicted that in the past.
Yeah, that's how World Championships in canoe kayaking normally working. A lot of medals for Hungary and Germany.
And these 3 girls who got the medals, they could, well, I guess they're all going to go in the 5,000. They could keep going all day, couldn't they? They have huge, huge engines on them.
Absolutely, yeah. And there are not so many girls which are paddling over this long distance because it's not non-Olympic, and also the 5K. Most of the girls don't like this distance so much, but for sure the girls that we saw here will paddle for 5K and will be also favorites in this race.
We'll wait for the confirmation, but I do believe it's going to be Hungary from Germany from South Africa. So what's the tactic if you're way at the back? I guess you take your foot off the gas for the last few hundred meters. Like Ali Bull, for example, she had a cracking start, and then they clearly they might be other priorities.
Yeah, maybe she saw that the Dora Bodoni was just too good for her this day.
Anyway, 4 minutes to the world champion for 2018, the 1,000 meters, Dora Bodoni, Lizzie Borton second, and Bridget Hartley third, with Nina just missing out this time, but plenty to come. I believe we're going to, well, hopefully we'll have a chat when she comes out of the water. Then we're going to go to the first medal ceremony. The idea behind this live transmission is to very much give you a flavour of most things. So we're going to show you 1, 2, 3 medal ceremonies.
Well,
as we have quite a lot of races.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the gold medalist from the K1 1000, Dora Bodoni. Congratulations, Dora. It's a tough race in that wind, but congratulations, well done.
Thank you. It was really hard because of the wind, but I could do what I have planned before the race, so it was good.
Well, it was a very good plan because it meant you won the gold medal. So congratulations, well done. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for our gold medalist in the K1 1000, Dora Bodoni from Hungary.
Well done.
Yeah, and you can see some Hungarian fans have found their way to Portugal as well.
It's a long way, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's an awful long way. But well worth the trip, though. So you can see, if you look at the picture on the, well, that's obviously the great grandstand. If it gets full over the weekend, which I think they're going to do, they're going to actually open up the runway, so you'll be able to go right by the bank of the riverside, the organised talking. So if you actually look at your picture, then we have the finish tower, where in just next to Blue Pontoon, where in the little the white-topped chalet there, and you go along a bit further, there's the boat control, where normally they'll come out and have their weights and measured done. And then behind you, they have on the left again, they have the hospitality tents. Here we're moving into the huge complex, which is like a big air hangars with all the boats that everyone put out. Next to that is going to be the dining facilities. And clearly, as you can see, this is the moment that all the hard work is going to be paying off.
Yeah, such a great feeling. I was 6 years ago, I was walking this way as well at the European Championships under 23. It was my only medal on this level, and it's such an emotional moment, and you will never forget this, to walk to the grandstand in front and get your medal. That's such a great feeling. I think that's really the thing that the paddlers are working for.
Good that you've actually experienced it. You've done it, so you can give us a true reflection of what we do. So it's going to be we're going to discover this at the same time as you, in fact. Normally there'll be someone who presents a bouquet, someone who presents a very
by Mr.
smart
Thomas
medals. New medals this year,
Vice President of the International Canoe Federation.
Mikey Medals has designed them for the ICF marketing team.
E os medalhados de bronze em representação da Rússia.
The bronze medalists representing Russia are Kirill Shamshkurkin and Ilya Paruvsky.
So I was hoping the speaker would be able to announce it, but clearly we can't hear a thing, so we'll help you out. Kirill Shamshurin and Ilya Paruvsky from Russia take the bronze medal. And we'll be seeing them later in the C4.
E os medalhados de prata em representação de Cuba.
The silver medalists representing Cuba are Sergei Madrigal and Fernando Enrique.
Second place is the Cubans, Sergei and Fernando Madrigal, Torres and Enrique. There's a team that came together a couple of years ago, and then it was a big gamble. And it seems to have paid off. You have the experience and the power.
Absolutely, and Cubans have really, you said it already before, a huge tradition in this category. They win medals at Olympics in the past.
E os medalhados de ouro e campeões mundiais em representação da Alemanha.
This really world top level, but for the C2000 meters they put everything they have into this category.
And I think at this level, you know, you need to congratulate and you need to show and specialize how you do things.
Yeah, world champions Jule Ilze and Peter Kretschmer from Germany.
Well deserved. And as they pointed out in the interview, they've held on.
Para escutar o hino nacional da Alemanha.
Please rise for the national anthem of Germany.
So the German national anthem now.
Pedimos o vosso aplauso aos medalhados do Mundial 2018.
World Champions 2018.
World Championship medalists.
So I wonder if when they will have to talk to them, that they in the heats I think they came sixth, which meant they were always going to have to go in the semi-finals, but I suppose they got such confidence, and often these like racing together, and because you're so fit, one race a day is not exactly going to kill you, is it?
No, not so much. But you're, I think not physical, but maybe mentally, it's always a huge process that you have when you have a race at the World Championships level, because you train all your year for it, and you go out on this water and you know this is the moment where you have to really show what you can. So mentally, only one race per day can be really tough for you, and it makes you more tired than when you do 3 times the one training in over 1,000 meters.
And some of these athletes, they're doubling up and tripling up. I don't count how many races Lisa Carrington's going to race, but I know Joseph Dostel, he's racing 9 times if it all figures out this weekend. Anyway, C2 men 200 meters. It's going to be over in a flash. It's not Olympic, but it's still a cracking event. The top 3 from last year are going to be competing. Yabo, Hashimoto are going to be in lane number 1. They're going to have a little bit more media pressure because as Tokyo builds up, I guess they'll have a guaranteed place, and so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Belarus, Nicolas, Saladuka, changed formats from the team they had in 2017. Lubniski, second last year. Kovalenko and Shatil, they won last year. Ivan Shatil, I stopped counting. I certainly can't count on 2 hands how many medals he's had at world levels.
These guys are legends. They are pedaling over years.
The 2 youngsters.
With a lot of fans in the grandstands.
The Spaniard, Sergei Alfonso Benavides, he's not the youngster, clearly. He's missed out the Hungarians. And now we are looking at the Romanians, and that is Stoyan Diba. Mozambique, hello, welcome. Chamzon and Musa are also there. So the athletes are from Japan, Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, Russia, Hungary, Spain, Mozambique and Romania. So the first with the Russians last year, second with the Poles, third with the Hungarians. Jonathan Hadju, a really top athlete. 200 meters. So hopefully the weather won't come into this. It looks like the breeze is dropping off a little bit.
Yeah, I would say as well. Like there's not so much wind anymore. You also can see on the flags they look really calm.
Well, the flags are just
yeah, behind the protection. Yeah,
so it's very clever.
Sure.
It's very clever for TV. But there you can have a bit more indication from the starters. There's had really no problems. Had a couple of false starters, but no systematic problems. Everything's worked absolutely clockwork. 200 meters, full out on the gas. What's the tactics?
Yeah, and great to see Mozambique racing here as well. Nice for this African country that they made it to the finals.
Well, I think in the talent identification program, there's 20 nations are here, but the Spanish are out really quickly. Camera's going to hopefully zoom in on the Russians there, because that's what we expect. They really are a class act. So far, Belarus is keeping up with them. It's looking very good for them. The Russians there will hopefully manage this for them, for this course. With the Spaniards, well, they might die off a little bit. Shatil in the back and Kovalenko are really slightly ahead, going to the last 20 meters. And, oh no, it's going to be a real surprise. Belarus came in.
Belarus made it, yeah.
Well, they're fairly unknown at this level. They're clearly doing something right.
Absolutely. But this is 200 meters. You have so many paddlers over this distance which are just on a great level, and it can change a lot because it's so short. You need to be tough, and you need to have a lot of power, and when you maybe have an injury in the winter or you're sick, it can really be brutal because you lose a lot of weight and you lose a lot of muscles, and this is just everything you need over this distance.
So they really are the top athletes. What sort of training regimes will they be going through? Will they be mainly pushing weights or mainly working on technique?
I think it's for sure a mix of both, and they don't paddle over very long distances, this is for sure. And in the winter, when maybe other distance paddlers like 1,000-meter paddlers do a lot of cross-country skiing or swimming, I think the sprinters, they are doing more gym and more maybe athletic stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of it's demanding a lot of power, but also technique, as you already mentioned, because the stroke rates, they are higher and it's more difficult to paddle and coordinate, especially in a crew boat.
Well, look at that. The Belarus comes first in 37, and it's really close. Poland second, Russia, who I was tipping all the way along, only came third this time. But Belarus have been, they had the famous four, which I think they won the Worlds quite often a few years ago.
Yeah, you mean the C4 paddlers?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they are winning almost every C4 1,000-meter race in the past, but now this year it's for C4 500 meters, so they changed the program a little bit.
Be interesting to see how that comes through. Poland is consistent. Second 2 years in a row. So there's interesting designs on some of these boats this year. There seems to be a bit more advertising, so it seems to be picking up nicely. The Russians always have interesting designs on the front of their boats.
Absolutely, and I think maybe Nelo started to have these really nice and special designs, but now every production of boats in the world, they can make these very nice paintings on the boats, and yeah, it really looks colorful and nice.
Now let's see how much test Ross's language skills here.
Well, yes, here we are with the C2 200 meters world champions from Belarus. Boys, it's a fast race. You were tight in the finish, but you got the gold. Congratulations. What does it mean for you?
Oh, thanks. It's a history in Belarus, but it's C2 to
100 meters who wins. And first, I'm very happy my partner will. So happy. Thanks.
So happy and so tired. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Our C2 Men 200 gold medalists from Belarus.
Congratulations. So we're moving on rapidly, and the C1 500-meter final. Elena Nazdorova looked really impressive. Katie Vincent looked really impressive. Zaneta Lakatos was a bit below her normal level, I'd say, so we'll have to work out who does what and how. We're going through the actual athletes again. Great graphics. Georgia. Russia, a powerful athlete. Zaneta Lakatos, who's very versatile over very many distances.
Yeah, and she looks quite thinny, so she must have a really good technique to be in the final in this race.
Katie Vincent, who goes with Laurence Vincent Lebrun, pushing each other. I said, do they train together? Well, they live 5 hours flight apart. And here is Alina Nazdorova, is certainly the best from Europe at the moment. Xiao Zhu, let's see how she goes in the People's Republic of China. They're doing well in the C category. And Ludmila Luzhan from Ukraine, pushing it through. Lucia Valova.
Only 17 years old,
Amazing.
So she's the youngest in this field.
And Magdi Stani. So the strength and depth of this is not the Olympic category, but a lot of the girls in World Cups have been doubling up. Interesting to see how they can come in.
Yeah,
so
I think it's the same thing like the 1,000 meters in the kayak. So they will put the young guys, the young talents into this distance.
So you're only allowed one athlete from each nation into this. So it's some athletes incredibly competitive. Anyway, we're lining up. It's going to be a real dogfight. 500 meters. Conditions improving all the time. It's certainly clear better for the writers. Katie Vincent is a lefty, but she should be protected. And it looks like young Ludmila is 20 years old and taking it out for Ukraine. So the battle is lanes 2, 3 and 4. Russia, Hungary, Canada, with Ukraine at the bottom of your picture, and China. They're putting more and more athletes in the C category. They can do it. They can just throw numbers at this game. Russia putting a lot of effort into 20 years old again.
You really can see Katie Vincent in lane 4 that it looks really easy how she paddles it. It looks like no effort to her, just pulling lightly her paddles through the water and moving forward a lot. Also the boat is moving very calm if you compare it to the other boats. This is what they want in the canoe.
So it's only halfway through. Katie Vincent took it out first. She's got about a metre length ahead, where you can see exactly what she's like. It's quite interesting in the C2 boat. They'll be both paddling on the same side. 200 metres to go. No way near over, however. It's like she's managing her effort. I hope for her she can, though.
I think everything is possible in this race for these 4 girls now.
Well, Courage from Russia
Almost
really looks
lane.
like she's putting in a bit of a late spurt. This is a really good test for all of them. Here she is in your picture. She looked good earlier on, but she really has a bit of a quicker stroke rate and really digging it down. But also coming through is Elena Nazdorova, who was the most impressive in the earlier heats. Can she go forward? So a bit of a surprise that Russia is leading coming into the last 60 metres. Katie Vincent, can she come back? It's looking like she's making a spurt. There's now 4 athletes almost in a line. coming up to the last 20 meters. It looks like Russia's going to just hold on. So Russia wins from Belarus and Canada. Impressive victory.
Yeah, and quite unexpected for this 21-year-old girl from Russia. Lane 2, that means that she wasn't dominating her heat in the semi-final. But still she made it to win this race and win the first gold medal for Russia in these World Championships.
So it just shows from when we first started doing the commentary on this 6-7 years ago, it's really the levels coming up.
Oh, it's crazy how the level on canoe woman is increasing. Yeah, as soon as it was called out Olympic, every nation put all their girls into the canoes, and I remember World Cup last year in Szeged. There were more girls paddling the canoe than the kayak, and this was just amazing. This
Makes
never
sense, though,
happened
doesn't
before.
it? Because the targeting, the funding, the everything from the actual Olympics is completely monopoly. If that makes sense. So really using all that force to battle the bait forward. So we're going to have another ceremony in here. Does it feel like a World Championships to you? You've been through quite a few. Has it got the vibe
sure.
of a
I
World?
mean, the vibe for sure. I mean, the organization just did everything to have the best World Championships.
Anyway, sorry, just cut you off quickly. Iznia Korach from Russia takes the gold. Alina Nazdarova from Belarus takes the silver. And Katie Vincent from Canada was the strongest out. Couldn't quite hold on, and he 1.5 seconds back takes the bronze medal. So yes, we're talking about, it feels like a World Championships.
Yeah, like I said, the Portuguese organization just did everything to have the best World Championships ever. Also this wind protection and other things they build up. It is really nice. Also for spectators, I was in the grandstand yesterday. It is really, really nice how they build up a little village with shops and everything. That's just absolutely nice, and this is only on the World Championships level that you have this.
It's interesting for us because we're quite away from the Hungarians. I remember when we were at the Milan World Championships, we were just above the Hungarians, and it was, you could hardly hear what he was thinking, but it created a great atmosphere. Last year we were put in some sort of portaloo over the other side of the pitch, and that was actually that was interesting. And now this end we've got really very
21
smart.
years old, she's the world champion. Sena Kurash from Russia, congratulations. What a race for you. How do you feel?
I will say thank you my coach, my family. Мама, привет. Думаю, она смотрит. В общем, спасибо всем, кто верил, поддерживал. То есть долго шла, золотой медали наконец-то. Thank you.
I'm assuming you just said it's wonderful to win a gold medal. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our world champion in the C1 500 from Russia.
Well done. Good Russian contingent. They've got their Russian Cup coming up quite soon. And there's the mascot.
It's called Pimentinha, which is like the sweet form for pimenta, which means Fernando Pimenta, the Portuguese superstar.
And he's absolutely everywhere, isn't he? He's on all the... They've gone for this... I don't really follow it, but a lot of people apparently do follow this Game of Thrones, which you could say, you can see all the branding is apparently to do with that. And it goes down very well. So he's certainly the main poster boy.
And it's called Game of Canoeing in this version, here.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to have another medal ceremony. Who are we going to see now? The K1 women. So 1,000 meters, they had to battle it out. Really close finish for second place in the end. So you see the athletes sort of putting themselves in position. They're obliged to wear their national tracksuit.
Apresentamos as medalhadas do K1 1000 metros feminino.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists
The medal
for the
ceremony,
women's K1
always the same.
1,000 meter event.
As medalhas serão entregues por José Perourenha, presidente da Federação Internacional de Canoagem, acompanhado pelo team leader da Hungria.
The medals will be presented
On the right
by
you
Mr.
see
José
the
Perourenha,
ICF president,
President
José
of the
Perourenha.
International Canoe Federation, accompanied by the team leader of Hungary.
E a medalhada de bronze em
So
representação
they all have
da
a senior
África do
dignitary,
Sul.
followed by the team leader. So the team leader always gives his own athletes. Anyway, well done. So Bridget Hartley brought the whole nation to its feet in South Africa. Won the bronze medal in the 500 metres in London. Came back a couple of days later. Last year, she decided to put all her energies in the marathon championships, done very well. And is always on social media, winning these river races. She seems to really enjoy it. And then this year, she's managed to by some way come back on the world scene.
The
silver medalist representing Great Britain, Lizzie Broughton.
Very well known and popular in the British circuit.
She did a great finish, which helped her to win this silver medal.
And she's raced over all distances. Does the classic London race where she won that. She still has the record, I believe, in the pairs, in the mixed. So we're talking some really tough athletes here.
E a medalhada de ouro e campeã mundial em representação da Hungria.
So Dora Badonyi from Hungary takes the gold medal.
Hungary is Dora Badonyi.
And there was never a doubt about this win. She was in the start already the fastest, and she put it down the whole course to the finish line, always in a leading position.
And we're going to have the national anthem of Hungary. Hungary hosting the Worlds next year, so that's going to be quite an affair. But this is.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Hungria.
Please rise for the national anthem of Hungary.
Well done, all athletes concerned. So we're going to move on with the action. The next race is going to be the final of the C1 500 meters, and we have some big names in this one. It's going to be a cracking race. So, Cés dos Santos, Sebastian Brendel, Martin Fuchser. Don't count out Thomas Simar. Well, it's all of them. Look at that. Katso, Piatru, Brendel, Dos Santos, Fuchser, Simar, Pavlov, Tarnowski, and Kish. So, they're all really top names. It's great to see that this non-Olympic event has attracted everyone.
Absolutely, yeah. These are really all the names you need to know in canoe sprint.
Takiani is not there,
C1.
but all the others are certainly there and are looking to put down a really good performance. There's Thomas Katzor. Maxime Piatru, again, been around an awful long time. He's on good form. He's old Brendel. Really happy to come back. multiple Olympic champion.
And usually 500 meters was not his distance, but in the heats and semi-finals, he really showed really good performances.
It's Quiros dos Santos, the man with an attitude. I remember doing the announcing in Rio, and we spent half our time interviewing his mother. Such a good backstory. Fuchs cleared up last year, didn't he? He's the dominant man, and also in the World Cups this year so far. From 3 generations of top paddlers. Thomas Simard. Interesting to see how he's already gone once, I think. Interesting to see how he goes. Pavlov.
A lot of power in this boat.
Yeah, he's built for speed, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Tarnowski competed with his naughty boy brother. Not competing at the moment. And Tamas Kish. So he's not a baby. 30 years old, 31 years old. The weather is really improving. If you look at them, most of them are righters, so it's going to help them. Brendel's a lefty, but he's got a good lane though. So he's lane number 3. When a world championship comes on, he has some little thing that ticks in his brain that he's not allowed to lose.
Absolutely. I remember also sitting next to you and commentating in Milano, where he just put everything to win this race over 1,000 meters.
It was against Fuchs in the last few, and it's like, it's coming back, and it's amazing.
Never thought nobody saw
5 minutes, they couldn't breathe. Anyway, here we go. C1, 500 meters, final World Championships 2018, coming to you from Montemor, Velho in Portugal. And it looks like Fuchs in the yellow tip boat is off to a great start, but also it looks like the Tarnowski, the older brother, Oleg, also is fast out of the blocks. Bit surprising here, because Quiros dos Santos is normally absolutely flying with his powerful straight weight, but Brendel's got a different tactic today. Well, nothing in it at the moment. The 3 real superstars in this sport are lined up in lanes 3, 4 and 5. With Brendel really pushing it out there. He looks mean though. He said he's just come in from Duisburg a couple of days ago. He's had some good training. Can he keep up on the shorter distance? It's going to be great to see.
Absolutely, and it's pretty new to see this determination already in the first 250 meters of Sebastian Brandl.
It's going to be a cracking race, this. So, Fuchs from the Czech Republic, Dos Santos from Brazil, and Brendel. Half the race gone. They're going to really put it all out there. Well, you can see Quiros dos Santos in lane number 4 has really started to put down the power. An extraordinary athlete. Loads of backstories. Only has 1 kidney, fell out of a tree when he was 10 years old. Kidnapped when he was 5 years old. And is really putting it forward. Won 3 medals in the Olympics in Rio. National hero. Has a child named it Sebastian after, guess who? Look at Brendel though, he's really coming back.
You really can see this, how he's cool.
He does it all the time. Fuchs is really holding. Who's going to win? Now there's about 50 meters to go. It's Brazil from Germany. Can he do it? He's going to give it everything he can. Much younger is Quiros dos Santos, but Brendel's going to lose. Look at that, wow. Oh, he's giving it everything. Let's hope he's okay. Now, straight away, the boat in front of us is actually already going across the water to pick him up. Water's nice and warm, so it shouldn't be a thermal shock. But the world champion doesn't know he's got it yet. He does now.
Yeah, I think the water temperature is not the problem when you fall in, but when you pull your boat over the finish line, everything you want to do is just breathe, and these 2 or 3 seconds that you are in the water, underwater, where you cannot breathe, they are really hard. I mean, I never had it in my career so far, but just imagine that it must be really hard for Sebastian, just going over this finish line and cannot breathe for the first couple of seconds.
Well, it's a great race, a really great race. Look at how much he's giving it. He really went out quickly. 200 meters to go, and there was nearly a boat length. Looks they couldn't quite hold on. Wow. But he's just such an extraordinary athlete. Here they come. Look at this, the replay coming out to the line, and he held on this time. Remember, was it Milan also that I think that Carlos dos Santos just missed a medal because he lunged too early, and he was deemed to be out of his boat when he crossed the line. Where's the actual finish line?
It's not. It's before these cubes that you see in the water. Yeah, this is the finish line. It is maybe 1 meter before the cube. So
I wonder if he's going to get it, because you have to be over the.
The boat has to be over the finish line, and I'm pretty sure that Sebastian
okay.
Vettel made this.
Anyway, bit of a lull now after all the excitement. They're giving it. Yes, good news. So as there, Carlos dos Santos takes the gold medal, Sebastian Brendel the silver medal, and Martin Fuchser the bronze medal. And this is the C1 500 meters world champion. Wow. So we're going from the sea flyers, and in a minute we're going to go for another really, really exciting race. It's going to be the K1 500 meters. Sebastian Brendel's just about 10 yards away from me, out of the water. So let's see how he is. That's okay. And the great buddies I mentioned a minute ago that Isaac named his son after Sebastian.
What a great move. That's a sign of friendship.
I think there's a bond in you top athletes, because you know the pain you have to go through.
Yeah, sure. I think you really can feel what the other guys have to feel at the moment as well. So, and dos Santos had a huge pressure before the Rio Olympics, because he was one of these gold medal
Well,
favorites.
ladies and gentlemen, I'm down here with a very happy C1 500 meter. Come over here, Sebastian, and give him a hug. I'm sure that you'd love to congratulate him. Yeah. Zacchaeus, you've finished behind Sebastian so many times. Today, you win the gold medal. Congratulations.
Bom, eu não sei muito grande, mas estou muito feliz de ter ganhado do Brendel e ter ganhado do Fuchsa, meu terceiro mundial no 1.500. Agora descansar para poder bater esse monstro no seu 1.000 metros.
Congratulations. We're looking forward to you boys dueling again in the 1,000. Congratulations. Put your hands together for our medalists. And from Brazil, Zacchaeus dos Santos.
Well done. Talks about his beating Fuchser. And obviously with Brendel, you have them all there. So next is going to be the K1 500 meters. And we have Josef Dostal, who won last year. Tom Leibischer, who's been the world champion before. And some new ones. It's going to be interesting. We have Yao Ribeiro, who is, well, he's not new, but he's obviously has the either pressure or the fun of the home nation. Tom Leibischer is Mr. Adaptable, isn't he? When he's motivated, he can really do whatever he likes.
Yeah, and he has lane one, which everybody wants to have in this race, with this little bit of crosswind now.
Ribeiro, we've seen him go out really quickly so far. Can he keep it going to the end?
Oleg Kukarik, only 21 years old, but a huge and really fast paddler over 500 meters. Nikita Borikao, he's quite a new name in the Belarusian team, and really strong over 500 meters.
Then it comes to Ben Nadash, who's been the great hope for the last couple of years now. Can he really concretize, put it forward? He's a big boy. Josef Dostal. He's lost 9 kilograms since February, broke a finger, and then decided to stop drinking sweet soft drinks and really put it forward. And Oshkin is light and strong.
And always, like, first 300 meters, they are really good for him.
Etienne Hubert is he's really been around for a long time now. He was in the K2 last year. He's really putting it forward. Not quite 20 years old is Thomas Green. He put a great semi-final forward, and we great hopes from this giant from down under. Kenny, we're missing you if you're watching. Apparently he's keeping training, keeping in shape, and we'll see him next year, no doubt. So 500 meters.
keep an eye on lane 6, Josef Dostal, which is defending world champion and won every race this year over this distance.
And they're all off in a line with maybe Etienne Hubert from France, who is the fastest out. But there's Dostal. Fine singer, by the way, if you have a chance to listen to him, he really can hold the stage. But he has an extra large boat, and he's so close to the waterline earlier in the season, but now he's lost a bit of weight. He's almost in the right position. So Dostal is the first out. And they're focusing on this great determined athlete. Let's see what Tom Leibischer can do at the top of the picture.
Yeah, and local Claudio Velho, which is also paddling K4 500 meter, is leading this race.
Well, he was the first out in the heats and the semis, so this clearly is his tactic. So 240 meters to go. It's really, really good conditions. And clearly the local director is focusing on his athlete, but why not when he's winning? You can see that he has about 1.5 meters from Leibischer at the top of your picture, who has the protected lane. Can he hold on? That's the big question. 30 years old now, but Dostal is, with his giant pats and his giant stroke rate, is really looks like he wants this one.
But really don't forget Tom Leibischer on lane 1.
The fastest finisher
as well. Yeah. That's not over for Dostal yet.
Coming into, well, it's slightly deceptive because the lines, but it looks like at the moment that Dostal has a slight advantage with about 30 meters to go. Can he hold on? Yes, he can. Dostal takes convincing victory from Tom Leibischer from Germany. Oh, it's very close for third place. All he wants is an Olympic gold and to be happy. Well, I think he's always happy, isn't he, really, to be fair?
He's always happy, yeah.
And when he lets out his lion's roar after victory, the whole stadium shakes. Tom Leibischer's other races to concentrate on as well. It looks like Bench Nadas, he's hoping to have 3, yes.
So Ribeiro just missed out the first medal for the home crowd for Portugal. After this brilliant start again.
So packed with former world champions.
And a really nice boat, isn't it?
It's very smart. So Nello has a new boat out. Have you had a go in it? Do you know much about it?
No, not yet. My coach was in there and said he was quite stable, and my coach is not a really good paddler anymore. He's not paddling a lot anymore, so
well, don't
that
name
must
if
be
you
really. No, I don't. He would kill me if he would hear this, but yeah, or not kill, but he would make a really hard training for me, I'm sure. But yeah, he said it's a really stable boat.
So Dostal is the world champion at K1 500 meters. Josef for Czech Republic, Tom Leibischer for Germany takes the silver, and Benj Nadas for Hungary takes a well-deserved bronze medal, with João Ribeiro just missing out this time by 0.2 of a second for Portugal. Have to wait for another day. And you can see the other athletes all giving it their best. Oh, there's a good picture just off your screen. We have the first 3 athletes. There, sorry, it's on your screen. So I shouldn't doubt their abilities. Just in front of us, we've had some rather not that sporty-looking camera people have been sprinting past us. It was quite amusing to see. And the boat controls saying you have to go to have your interview, and then you have to come back to boat control. It's been quite well thought out there. Just the idea is to get them as quickly as possible over here. So we've seen some really good finishes in the last couple of races. The C1 500, and obviously they're the top level of this sport. They all know each other and massively respect each other and desperately want to beat each other.
Absolutely, and they also know each other from last year. I mean, they had so great races in Rajice against each other. Over 1,000 meter, where Dostal was leading and Leibischer just made it in the finish. In the last 50 meters, he catched him up, and they know each other over years, also in the K4, and yeah, we've dodged everybody's friend because he's so happy over
Yes,
it.
I'm down here with a K1 500 meter world champion. He won the title on his home turf last year. He's defended his crown this year. He's a slim-looking Josef Dostal. He's lost 9 kilograms this year, and you're now the world champion again, Josef. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
What does it mean for you to defend this title?
Sorry?
What does it mean for you to defend this title?
Well, for me, this race was really special because after Olympic Games, I said, okay, I'm gonna focus more on K1, which meant I started to participate 500 meters, which before was not okay to do with the K4. And so I skipped the K4 for 2 years. And why was this race special for me? Because it was my last race for 500 before the Olympics.
What a way to finish with another World Championship title. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our world champion from the Czech Republic, Josef Dostal.
Well done. So we just see the exhausted looking athletes walking in as Martin Fuchs, having given it his all, walking back. And now we're going for the last live event today, the K2 1,000 meters. Again, an opportunity for young and athletes that are really wanting to come through to show what they can do.
Absolutely, and I think there will be a battle between Hungary and Germany again.
Well, we're going to see them paraded along. So there's Roxana Djur and Elena Moroniak from Romania. Romania have really put some really solid teams forward in the last couple of years.
Lane 3, Kira Stepanova and Svetlana Chernigoskaya. This is also a really good crew. Kira Stepanova is paddling over years also in K2 500 meters. And Sarah Bristler and Melanie Gebhardt. I know that Melanie Gebhardt was ill the last week, so they don't really know on which level they are competing now. And Tamara Cipes, which is just a household name in this sport with Erika Medvecki. Then Poland in lane 6, Isarczka and Pasek. And the Canadian double with Natalie Davison and Alana Bray-Lahid.
Bit of noise for the Portuguese, Sara Sotero and Rita Fernandez. Let's hope they can do something here. And finally, Denmark, Nisden Funch.
This is also quite a young crew.
So we've had race number 118 of the schedule. We've had a great para tournament in the last couple of days, and that's really a lot of excitement going on there with the Vars going through for the Olympics, and hopefully being able to watch that online. And now we're concentrating on race 118, and it's the K2 1,000 meters. They're just really being held back before they actually go. They go off. The times, how do you, I don't know if you've been looking at the times so far, are they reasonable, or not had a chance to look really?
Times are nothing special today. I think it's because of this crosswind, that they can't really paddle top times, world best times. This is not possible with this little crosswind. But otherwise, I think with the warm water, if there would be a little tailwind, it could be a good opportunity to make new best times. I was paddling here 4 weeks ago already for European Student Games, and made the best time this year so far for me in the K1. So
how did the Student Games go for you?
I felt really good because I also was injured this year, and it was good to see that I'm back on a good level, but finished fourth for 30 hundredths or half a second, something like this. And this is the place where nobody wants to be.
Back onto the action. So you'll have your favourites in front of us. Spain, Romania, Russia, Germany, Hungary, Poland, Canada, Portugal and Denmark. The starters ready for them. It's the A final of the K2 1,000 metres. Two of these ladies are going to be world champions in about 4 minutes' time. Let's see who has the good start.
Yeah, Hungary came out really, really well out of the blocks, but also Denmark and the Canadian double.
So there we have the familiar green shirts of Hungary. You put on the green shirt, you've either done something well or you have the potential to do something well. Their stroke rates, how are the stroke rates going?
Yeah, you can see that Hungary is quite low with their stroke rates, compared to the boat under them, like Polish teams or also the Danish crews. So you see that the Hungarian girls, they're quite tall. They have a long stroke, but also a lot of power. And this is especially for 1,000 meter really important when you can go down with the stroke rate and have some relaxation for your breath.
Well, they're really pushing it forward, and at this point they'll be conscious where they are, and they're controlling the race.
Yeah, I think if you're in this leading position, one boat in front of everybody, you really can feel this, and it also can give you an extra push because you just know, hey, this is a good day. I have a great shape today, and that's why everybody wants to be in front, because it gives you such a great feeling. But it also can be quite tough because when you do it too fast in the first 500 meters, it will pay back in the second half, and this means that you just have no power anymore and everybody is coming over you. But I think this will not happen today. This Hungarian crew is just looking too good, too controlled, too powerful.
So as it stands at the moment, it's very much the arrow formation, so it's going to plan, it's going to form anyway, with the Hungarians really establishing quite a solid lead. As you can see, it's like a mill pond out there at the moment, so the conditions are very, very fair. And they look like they're in unison as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see this now with this perspective that every stroke is the same. Also the technique, they look really synchronous, and you don't see it because of the spray deck, but I'm sure also the legs are doing the same at the same time. And this is so important, and in the same way very difficult to have this in the K2, that just everything is the same at the same timing. And when you manage this, you have a boat which can win gold medals.
Well, at the moment it's quite a battle for second place, with Poland in lane number 7 fighting for Russia in lane number 3. Canada,
Germany in lane 4, sorry.
I'm saying Canada having a bit of a struggle at the moment, but like you say, Germany still in it with about 230 meters to go.
Yeah, and you can see like crews like Romania, which were really fast in the start, they are now just out of the game because they probably did too much in the first couple of hundred meters, and this is the hard thing over 1,000 meters, where you can see now the Hungarians, they have just some effort to make a finish sprint. It's so crazy. They're paddling in a different league today.
So the Hungarians are really putting on a bit of an exhibition as we speak. They're certainly going to win this by a country mile, but it looks like the Polish are putting in a solid finish to tie it up. And can it be Germany to take the last medal?
Yeah, it looks like the German team also have a good finish.
World champions are Hungary. Poland take the silver and Germany take the bronze medal. Well, they don't even look like they're tired. I'm sure they are.
It was just a great race, and yeah, that's the thing. I think when you lead down the whole race, it gives you such a good feeling, and the adrenaline is just so high. You don't feel that you just did some world-class performance, and yeah, must be a great feeling.
There's a payoff at the end,
and I'm sure that the German team will be happy with their medal. Especially of the story from Melanie, which was sick the last weeks. So it's always hard to compete when you don't know which level you are right now, and when you can't train quite normal the last weeks before the competition. And I'm sure they're really, really happy to go back with a bronze medal.
So that's it's been a great hour, say, of activity. 8 races. I have to do the stats for how many countries have done well, but I know Hungary have got a couple of victories, Germany's got a couple of victories, Czech Republic have got a victory.
Brazil with Carreras dos Santos.
Don't forget Brazil, of course.
Yeah.
So it's actually, this one's gone to form. Here we go. Tomasipiz and Medvedski take the gold for Hungary. Poland the second, Germany the third, Russia, Romania, Denmark, Canada seventh, Spain and Portugal. All these obviously having a great weekend's racing, having made it through to the final. We're just going to about have another ceremony for you. It's going to be the C1 500 women. There you see the people just relaxing, having a lovely afternoon here. About 130 kilometers. It's halfway from Porto. It's halfway between Porto and Lisbon. So they're coming up for the medal ceremony of the C1 500 meters. And this is where they really gave it them all, and but were suffering somewhat afterwards, unfortunately, as a couple walking back feeling a bit ill. Say C1 500 meters. World Championships, no doubt. There's Katie Vincent, who's going to be the first to have the medal. As you can see, the wind, it's quite funny, the wind in the last 5 minutes has really picked up again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalist for the women's C1 500 meter event.
As medalhas serão entregues por Simon Tolson, secretário-geral da Federação Internacional de Canoagem, acompanhado pelo representante da Rússia.
The medals will be presented by Simon Tolson, Secretary General of the International Canoe Federation, accompanied by the team leader of Russia.
E a medalhada de bronze em representação
He's
do
been
Canadá.
around for many, many years now.
Bronze medalist
So bronze medal
representing
is
Canada
Katie Vincent.
Katie Vincent.
We're going to certainly see her in action next couple of days in the C2 500, which is the Olympic event. Setting world bests every time they go out, almost. Good to get Canada on the board. Mark Oldershaw's going tomorrow. Interesting to see how he's on form.
E a
Looking good so
medalhada
far.
de prata em representação da Bielorrússia.
The silver medalist representing Belarus is Elena Nadzrova.
Elena Nadzova has taken the silver medal with her signature hairstyle. And the winner, fastest on the day, representing Russia.
E a medalhada de ouro e campeã do mundo em representação da Rússia.
The gold medalist and world champion representing Russia is Ksnelia Kurach.
Ksnelia Kurach takes the gold medal. Great to see Russia off the mark. So there's nothing better than winning a World Championship gold medal. Top of the
Por favor,
year.
levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Rússia.
Please rise. Please rise for the national anthem of Russia.
Russia win the gold. And so the action's going to continue. The live coverage on the TV is going to switch to other things. But thanks so much for tuning in and watching all this. If you have just tuned in, clearly you can catch up on the official sites with Planet Canoe and the canoeicf.com, where you can actually go back and see the live stream of all the events we've seen so far. If you have just come in, well, we started off with the C2 100,000 rather, and the Germans held on to their title. Erzen Kretschmer, they won there. And then we went off to the second event, which was the K2 1000. Max Hoff, Marcus Grace won there for Germany. Absolutely delighted about that. 1,000 meters, and that was the K1. And there we did have Dora Bedonia winning for Hungary in a great time. Moving on from there, race 114, and it was the Belarus who won the C2 200 in a really tight finish. And then we go to the C1 500 women, and we just saw the medal ceremonies. Krzysztof Kurash won for Russia. Moving on from there, it was a C1 500 classic race as Eric Dos Santos just held on. Finally, the K1 we've just seen, big, bad Joseph Dostal win that. And lastly is Tamara and Erika for Hungary. Thanks for watching. I'm Matthew Layton, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, coming up next with the K1 men 500 meters B final. Following that, we'll have the C1 men 500 meters B final, and then we'll be performing the medal ceremonies for the K2 women's 1,000, the C2 men's 200, the K2 men's 1,000, the C1 men's 500, and the K1 men 500. Look at the medal table right now. We can see gold medal winning countries. Well, Germany are out in front with 4 gold medals. Hungary have 2. Brazil, Russia, Belarus, and Czech Republic all have 1 gold medal. Early days yet, there'll be plenty more medals given out tomorrow on our 4th day of competition. We can look now to the 500 meter mark with the B final of the men's K1 men